And we are live. All right, I'm going to share this with everybody in the Facebook group so that you guys can follow along as I'm doing this. I'm really proud of myself right now, just with the amount of technology that's going on right now. This is like, I'm on top of this shit right now. All right, let's see here. I'm going to post into the Facebook group. That should pull up for you guys. Might be a little bit delayed, jumping back and forth between Facebook, the Facebook Live, and then this Hangout. So just be aware of that. All right, so CopyHour initiation. Let's do this. This is how CopyHour works. Before I say anything about that, who else handwrites? Besides the big names that I mentioned, Gary Halbert, Dan Kennedy, John Carlton, a bunch of others. Big names that I mentioned in the sales letter. We've got Rami Sethi. Derek Halpern has told me personally that he'll do it for inspiration. I've heard through the grapevine that Tim Ferriss does it. Dane Maxwell of the foundation, who lives not far up the beach here, he has told me that he does it, and he's actually mentioned CopyHour quite a few times as something to do. And beyond that, we've got Dan Meredith. I'm going to flip this over. I hope that's a little bit better. Dan Meredith, Dan Ferrari. So, well, let me jump back. Dan Meredith is, I'm sure by now you've probably heard of him. A lot of you found me through Dan Meredith. He's just written another book. He's gone on to, he was 6 figures in 6 months. Just bought like every single course out there, bought CopyHour. I think he bought the different products in CopyHour about 3 different times, which was pretty funny. And I obviously refunded him for a few of them. But yeah, he's gone on to do some big things. He's the fitness copywriter. Then there's Dan Ferrari, a name that you might have heard me mention him, but this guy is going to be one of the best copywriters around. He started working for Motley Fool and just started, wrote a control on I think his 2nd or 3rd time, and that's a really big deal. So he was kind of struggling before he found CopyHour, started doing the handwriting exercise, and then from there went off on his own, started to write his own things, obviously. And now he's moved on to bigger and better things. And so Ian Stanley is a business partner, a guy that I've been working with a lot now. And Ian is also another guy that's going to be a name that you're going to hear about in the future. And he works for Crisis Education, and there's a couple other companies in there. I'm not sure what the overall corporation is called, but he works for a couple different companies, and he's really gone deep into the VSL world. And so now he's kind of making these infomercial VSL hybrids that are really, really cool. And he's a young guy with just a great marketing mind, a great copywriting mind. So, okay, so I just got a question from Morris. Can you explain what handwriting is? Is that the CopyHour technique? So yeah, Morris, if you haven't read the sales letter, you know what? I don't blame you necessarily. Some people don't want to sit through reading that, and some people, you know, even get a little turned off by the look and the feel of a long form sales letter like I've got on CopyHour. So that is the CopyHour method. So CopyHour is something that I developed after finding out that Gary Halbert recommended that people handwrite classic direct response space ads and sales letters. And I started doing that and found it to be extremely helpful, and started a small group of people in a forum. There's about 20 of us the first time through. And then from there, we had guys, John McIntyre was in that group. I'm sure you've heard his name at this point. Clay, one of my really good friends. So guys kind of took that handwriting exercise initially and expanded on it, and started really enjoying it. And that's why I kept publishing CopyHour. or that's why I started to publish CopyHour. So I'll explain the handwriting technique. I think I'm going to explain it. No, I don't know if I will. So you basically, you just take a proven, and that's really important. You take a proven ad or sales letter, and you sit down with it and word for word handwrite it out. You can't type it. You can't do anything else. So there's actually, it's been found that there's a big connection between your thumb and your pointer finger, that there's much more brain activity that's going on when you do it like this, beyond just having to slow down and not type. And there's also a lot of stuff with memory. So you're able to better recall memory and language learning. So you're better able to recall characters and anything that you have written down. You're able to remember that much more clearly in the future moving forward. And so there's actually quite a bit of science behind handwriting, and I think it's really interesting that over time it's like we've kind of lost handwriting in a way, but at the same time it's kind of coming back. Now we've got the Apple Pencil. We're still using our fingers a lot on our smartphones, but we're only typing with our thumbs. So I think there's a little bit lost there on your phone when you're typing and everything. And I don't know what the result is going to be years from now. I don't know what things are going to look like, but I think we're doing a lot of damage to ourselves by not handwriting anymore. So what I've done is I got this pen here. So this is the Neo Smart Pen N2, and this thing is it's a regular pen, but there's a little thing inside here. I don't even know how it works, the technology of it, but when you write onto a specific notepad, it's able to transcribe what you're writing, and then you can transfer that to the computer, obviously. So that's how I write. I do everything by note, like handwritten notes, and then transfer them to the computer. I do everything that way. So let's see, there's another questions. Okay, so that is a little bit about the handwriting exercise. It's just been recommended by everybody for a long time. Obviously, where people get into a lot of troubles when they don't go beyond the handwriting is when they just only handwrite and do nothing else. Obviously, you have to go forward and write your own stuff. So let me just move forward into the organization of all of this. So really a big part of CopyHour is developing the habit. It's such an important exercise to do, but when you actually sit down to do it, it's going to be very difficult to get it done. So when you're doing the 3-month round of CopyHour, it's about building a habit. So we do this daily, and I'm going to send you an email every single day for what is it, 90 days, and Monday through Friday are the core days. So you're going to get the first email on Sunday night, and you're supposed to go to bed and wake up and do that Monday morning. So Monday through Friday are the big days. There's a rest, or there's a extra credit day on Saturday, and then there's a rest day fully off on Sunday where you can read or do something else. So emails should show up around 6 to 7. It's more towards 7 now, your local time. And the idea is to read it, read whatever materials I've sent you, and then go to sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, just get to work immediately on handwriting. And let's see. Okay, so Sunday is a read-only day, and then there is this reading list here that's on the CopyHour site if you want some of the recommended reading resources that are available. They're all books, no courses or anything like that. All right, got a question from Kurt, or a comment. Can't remember where I read it, but someone said the neural connections that happen between your brain and your hand as you physically spell out letters, words is immensely more powerful. than typing them or speaking them could ever be. The explanation helped me a lot when doubting the handwriting technique. Yeah, so that's absolutely right. There's some science behind that. So it's really funny. My uncle is actually a hand doctor. So and I, all these connections didn't happen until I started getting a little bit deeper into this. So my uncle is a hand doctor, and there's actually more brain activity when these two things are together. And I find it really interesting that a lot of the religious symbols are, and meditation and Buddhism is this type of connection here, where it's supposedly some sort of energy kind of going out and then flowing back. So, there's a little bit of the mystical, there's a little bit of the magical, but then there's also quite a bit of science behind the connection there, and using your hands. And another really cool one that I like is the use of tools. So when you are actually using a tool, you almost begin to start to think within that tool. So a good example of this is a baseball player that when he's on a really good streak and he's using the baseball bat, he says that the bat becomes an extension, almost an extension of his arms. It becomes another piece of him. And in a way, I think that also relates to the pencil. So the pencil just becomes kind of another extension of your arm. And I think that's just like a nice little way, a way to think about it. And so what you're doing when that pencil is becoming an extension of your arm is you are, lost my train of thought, of course. I don't even know what I was going to say. Yeah, so your handwriting, right? So you're taking that pencil and you're kind of programming this copy language into your brain. And you're doing it on, I don't want to get too, I hate getting like too mystical, but like you're programming a language. Copy is an actual language, I think. So you're programming that language into your brain, and kind of doing it on a subconscious level when you're doing it. So when that pencil becomes an extension of your arm, when you go back to write later, it's that programming and that language is almost going to flow out. So I know that sounds freaking crazy, so I'm just going to move on. But I wish I could do a little bit more research into this stuff, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. And if you want to read a little bit more of the more practical side of things, you can go check out the CopyHour sales letter, because I think it's a lot more practical than what I'm talking about right now. But let's move on to the why. So read the materials before bed and sleep on it. This is a big thing. I've tried to have it where I sent emails in the morning and then you just look at it and then write it right there. I found that actually sleeping on stuff that you read the night before and kind of letting it sink into your subconscious as you sleep, and letting your mind kind of drift and focus in a different way, kind of like your second brain to focus on something while you sleep on it, is helpful. So you'll have the assignment ready to go when you wake up. You could even pull it up and get it ready to go, so you don't need to log into your email in the morning and get distracted. Morning routine is really important. I do pretty much the same thing every morning when I wake up, and I think that when you're handwriting, when you're going through the period of time where you want to try this exercise, I think that it's important to make it a routine, and it's especially easy to do in the morning. And a lot of people feel as though if they've done CopyHour, if they've done an hour of handwriting, or they've focused their mind on copywriting for an hour, that the day is productive. So if you do nothing else and you just do that, and you get it out of the way early, you can go to bed feeling like you've done something that day. I know that I've definitely felt that way before, where everything else got screwed up during the day, felt very unproductive, but I did the handwriting. I had at least somewhat of a productive day. So, okay, another thing that you can try as well, some people will actually read the copy out loud, record it, and listen back to it. If you want to try that, I haven't actually gone so far as to do that. If you want to try and do that, some people have said that that's very helpful, especially if you're kind of like an auditory learner. That might be something that you want to try. And Morris asked, does it take an hour each morning? No, a lot of the assignments are a little bit shorter. There are some that are longer, but I've come to really work on that and to make them a little bit shorter and a little bit more interesting. Yeah, so if you can do an hour, I think you're better off. Or you do like I tell people to do 2 33-minute blocks of time. So you set a timer for 33 minutes, handwrite, take a break for about 2 to 5 minutes, and then you handwrite again for another 33 minutes, and that's it. A lot of times you will finish it within that first 33 minutes. Sometimes you won't finish it all, and I'll tell you, like, don't worry that you weren't able to complete the assignment. Just get the time in. And I also, that's why the rest days are important. And I also kind of have gone through people with this particular round of CopyHour. I was going through not far ahead of people, so that creating the assignments, so that I could kind of gauge how people were doing. And if there's like a lull and I see that there's kind of engagement has gone down, then I can say, okay, people probably need a little break or whatever else to, and when I say break, I mean like a little rest in the amount of time that an assignment would take. So I hope that answers the question. All right, so the actual handwriting, wake up and write, set a timer if you want. I like having a timer set when I do this. So I bought this thing on Amazon. I think it was like $3, maybe $5. Presto 04213 electronic digital timer. It's the one I've got. I don't know where it is. It's not in here. So just buy that little timer if you want something. And the very first time that you do this, it's going to be hell. The first 30 minutes are going to be really tough. You're going to question it a lot and wonder what you're doing. Like it was mentioned earlier, you're going to question this, especially the first time that you do it. Just fight through those first couple days. And once you get to the other side, it's going to be amazing. Ian Stanley, who just joined, can definitely attest to that. Ian, give me a hell yeah if you think that's accurate. But yeah, so just get through the first couple days, and when you get to the other side, it's going to be amazing. There have been hundreds of people at this point that have made it all the way through, and it's an exercise that you're going to love doing. So just a couple things to bring up here. Ian's saying nice things in the chat box. 20 million. That's pretty good, Ian. Okay, so the some of the stuff that you're going to see in some of these ads is like ordering details and everything here. So if you're going through and you're handwriting and you come across something like this that says 14 Cyril Sears, I don't know what building that is. Cyril building, I can't say that. Rochester, New York, you don't need to copy that. You don't need to copy the name and the address fields right here. But you want to copy anything that is actual copy. So please send me your new free booklet, How You Can Master Good English in 15 Minutes a Day. It's funny that I couldn't speak while I'm talking about a book on English. So that kind of stuff. You don't need to copy some of the formatting elements and some of like the addresses of where these companies are on these ads. You just want to copy the actual copy. Okay, materials. Yellow legal pad is best. I really like doing it on a yellow legal pad. And it's just nice and big and long. I don't really worry about what my handwriting looks like ever. Get a comfortable pen. If you can use a standing desk, I think that's best. I have this IKEA thing. I'm actually sitting right now, but I've got this IKEA desk that I bought for $10. It's like a little side table that I put on top of a desk, and that's what I use. Get the window open, get some oxygen going, just to breathe in. I think it's just good and healthy. Okay, and then after you're done, and this stuff is to build the habit. So check in. There's an app called Coach.me. Check in, give props. This is going to create a streak. It's going to build a habit. You also get the phone notifications, which provide that little bit of dopamine hit. You're probably already getting notifications of some other sort. You know, you're going to see phone notifications of others that you might follow, etc. Or the actual, you know what it is, the phone notification on Coach.me. That's the one where it's going to tell you to check in. So do that when you actually click to complete it, that you actually completed that day. That produces a little bit of dopamine. It's like you see the little checkbox. Just a nice little thing to try and build that habit a little bit. So in the Coach.me app, things changed up a little bit. They used to be called Lift. So I don't know exactly if this is all still relevant, but search for the Learn Copywriting group in Coach.me when you install that app. And oh, Kurt is right there in there. So yeah, so there's the green check mark. You can give props to others, and you can see what's going on that particular day. So then also now there's the Facebook group as well. So I'm starting to use the Facebook group more a little bit. Obviously, I'm doing a Facebook Live video here. So in the morning, in the evening, because of different time zones, we'll I'll try to pin the newest discussion to the top each day. So come Monday, or actually come Sunday night, I'll pin assignment number 1 to the top, and you guys can talk there. So I've been mainly checking the Facebook group. So that's where a lot of the activity is going on. We do have the forum there, and I'll talk about that in a second. But okay, so we've got the Facebook group, and if you're watching this, then you know the URL. We'll be posting and pinning discussions in the morning. It's actually the evening. I use a little Chrome extension called Newsfeed Eradicator. And Newsfeed Eradicator just makes it so that I can't see my newsfeed on desktop. And it's just so much less distraction when you don't log in and see everybody else's posts on your wall, or not, I guess it wouldn't be your wall, or maybe it is your wall. I don't know what they call it. Just that's the newsfeed. If you don't see everybody else's stuff on the newsfeed, then you're not going to go get distracted. I'm not one of those people that has a crazy amount of discipline. It's like I have to build in these things that are going to prevent me from doing things. So if you're like that in any way, then Newsfeed Eradicator is something you're going to want to check out. Yeah, post your questions, and you can like the discussions to check in if you want, and only kind of post a new thread if there's a unique question that you've got. Okay, and this is what it actually looks like when you install the Newsfeed Eradicator. So you can still see if you've got notifications, but there's no actual newsfeed down below to suck you in. The forum, you can use it if you can't check into Facebook or Coach.me. Really just use the dude rule. This is just everything that you say is like your opinion, man. If you've seen that movie, I just did I don't know why I added a weird accent to that. But if you've seen the movie, he says a quote that's like, well, that's like your opinion, man. Don't get in there and start giving people a ton of advice when it's not coming from a place of expertise. And even if you are an expert on something, you don't, just responding to people's comments based on 15 seconds, 30 seconds of information can be really harmful. So Just get in there and uh, don't be a dick, and don't give advice when you don't know what you're talking about. And that's all that really means. So as you can tell, I'm not a giant proponent of forums, just because I feel like you can get a lot of newbies giving each other advice that can end up being harmful. So just use the forum with caution. That's all I'll say. And if you have questions, just hit me up. It's support@copyhour.com. It's me and my wife who can take care of you. So if there's anything, you know, anything going on, there's some tech issues that happen with CopyHour every once in a while, especially sometimes an assignment can get delayed. And if that happens, if you don't get an assignment on the correct night at the correct time, email me quick, because you know, we need to get on top of that fast. So there's some stuff that happens with Aweber every once in a while. Last year or 2 years ago, there was a DDoS attack that basically assignments didn't get sent out. So stuff pops up, tech stuff happens. So just let us know. We are here. So that is CopyHour in a nutshell. One thing I will add, Ian and I have developed a structure for sales messages. So that might be a sales letter, VSL, and it can really apply to any sort of sales message that you might have, any sort of script, anything related to video. If you're doing kind of a native advertising funnel, we've got, you can use this structure. And I give that to you, I think, starting the second week of CopyHour. So that is a full structure. And when you couple it with the different examples, so this time around, CopyHour is following that structure. So I'm giving you assignments and examples that completely follow that structure and can give you a nice little swipes for each section of that structure. So if you are wondering how to get started writing a sales letter, if you're wondering what to write first, what to write second, what to write third, what to write fourth, this structure is going to help you do that. So this is something new that we've added because, like I said a little bit earlier, we ran a deep dive survey, and the thing that just keeps coming up again and again and again is people go through, they do the handwriting, they start to get confident about what to write, you know, the words to use. But the problem that they have is actually when it comes time to sit down and structure things end to end, it's like, where do I put this? Where do I put my testimonials? Where do I put my false close? And I'll describe all of these you know, these phrases to you. Where do I put the lead? What exactly is the sales argument? Where do I put that? How do I structure that? So I've got it mapped out start to finish. It's just a recommendation. This is not the end all be all. I will not tell. CopyHour is not a tactical course. It is strategic. And one thing that I think I've thought about a lot is, like, I don't want to ever be your guru. And I don't want to, I mean, maybe at some point, you know, just from a marketing standpoint, I could be known as something, and maybe I'm known as the handwriting guy at this point. But I don't ever want to be known as like the VSL guy or the YouTube guy, etc. Because I want to see you 10 years from now at a marketing conference, and you'll be like, oh, there's Derek. And I took your course, and your course has applied to every other course that I've ever bought. And that's what I want CopyHour to be. It's a strategic course that is going to help you with any sort of tactical course that you take after this. So I'm going to show you the strategic thinking behind copywriting. I will show you some tactical stuff that you can use right now, but it is much more strategic than it is tactical. And if you need some more explanation on what I mean by that, just let me know. Just ask some questions, because I've built a small group of people that are really smart and intelligent, and they get it, and they know that it's not like literally about money, money, money right now. It's about building this skill. It's not about Facebook ads, like exactly how to write copy for Facebook ads. If you go through CopyHour, you're going to know what to do with your Facebook ads. And you're also going to have you're just going to be able to think about copy much, much differently than everybody else. And that's been proven. And the thing as well is, you know, it's created these people that are able to go out, and I'm giving you a structure to get started. But these people that I've worked with and helped, and Ian Stanley and Dan Ferrari and Dan Meredith, they've gone out and they've developed their own systems. They've developed their own style. So we start by kind of copying the greats and getting to know how they were thinking and what they were doing, and we're studying the strategy there. But then you have to go out and you create your own way, and you create your own structures and your own systems. And I'm not giving you full templates in CopyHour. That CopyHour is the strategic stuff. I have tactical stuff that I've done with Ian and some other people that gives you more templatized stuff for email copy, for VSLs, etc. CopyHour is strategic. So I hope that makes sense. All right, do we have any questions? I'm going to describe a little bit of the coaching. Let me close down okay.